This is the Crispy Cornflakes News Network. Hail Satan. Today, we are going to talk about Slayer breaking up.
For 35 years, Slayer has been melting our minds, and as of January the 22nd, they will be melting our hearts with their farewell tour. Slayer has been one of the most iconic metal bands in the metal genre, and also just in music in general. From the Kardashians representing the band, to die-hard fans carving the band's logo into their arm, Slayer has most definitely influenced many lives. Starting in 1981 in Huntington Park, California, Slayer was just another thrash band that you could see playing at your local venue and hear lyrics of the torments of hell and wish that your enemies would just die by the sword. Eventually, the band gained popularity between thrashers and skaters and mostly anyone who took an interest in hell, the horrors of Nazism, necrophilia, genocide, and serial killers. This was the band that your mom hated. But were so popular, she couldn't stop you from getting your hands on one of their 8 hell-raising albums. But today, most of what we have to look forward to is one last farewell tour from our satanic thrash gods. Tom Araya was in fact quoted saying, "At 35 years, it's just time to collect my pension. This is a career move. It just gets harder and harder to come back out on the road." 35 years is a long time. Tom Araya, the lead singer, is known to have been a headbanging god, but today he is crippled from the fact that he cannot headbang with metal plates he had put in his neck. He was also quoted saying, "That played a big part. Now I just groove with the music, which is cool, because I'm grooving with the music and the feel of the songs, so that's changed a little for me." That is not his only medical issue, though. He is also known to suffer from sleep apnea and commented saying, "I only slept maybe 3 or 4 hours last night, and then I woke up. I don't sleep good on the bus, period. But when I got to the hotel, I didn't sleep very long. That's the part of the road that I'm not enjoying anymore, because I can't rest, I can't get plenty of sleep." Now, I cannot blame Tom Araya from being the sole reason the band has to disperse. He is not the only one who thinks that maybe it is just time to call it quits. Kerry King, the guitarist of Slayer, had stated in 2015 that he has been, quote-unquote, holding off a lot of things I want to do at home just because I don't know if I'm going to be working in 2 years, hopefully in Slayer. What opportunity could possibly exist that would make Kerry consider letting go of Slayer? He had talked about doing a solo project, saying that there's plenty of people that I consider doing one with, but I have to have Slayer covered before I consider anything like that. So who or what is to blame for the ceasing of one of almost every metalhead's idols? Well, another option is that there was a conflict of management that was never resolved with the death of their guitarist, Jeff Henneman, with Tom Araya stating, "I loved it, and it slowly somehow turned into a business. It wasn't about making music, it was about the business of making music." So what I'm leading into is that we had Jeff, who passed away a few years back. We never really had our business matters taken care of. As far as the membership in the band and all that stuff, that's something that me and Kerry are, at the moment, in the middle of getting all that squared away. Could it be unfinished business? Tom's medical issues? Kerry's desire to experiment with new people? We have no idea the sole cause yet, so it is too early to point any fingers. All I do know is that the loyal 66-year-old Rob Halford is still touring with Judas Priest, and Lemmy Kistler from Motorhead toured until death. Even with how upset every thrasher out there is, we all know our anger is just another stage of grief for what was an inevitable and epic finale of the band that we all love.